Yo, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, bro.
What a flawless start to stream. Wow.
First try, dude.
After a week off, we nailed it, dude.
Yeah,
First
I wouldn't
try.
suspect anything else from us, dude.
Good stuff, man.
Welcome
Abe,
back, dude.
Welcome back, Abe, to the land of the living. Good to have you.
Here we are. The land of the free, America. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Colombia, beautiful.
Yeah.
Loved it.
All right.
Amazing country, amazing people. There's a lot of stigma out there about like it being dangerous and stuff. I felt more in danger when I got off the plane and tried to drive home through Philadelphia than I did at any point in that country. So
Yeah.
Really?
beautiful place. Awesome people.
Good stuff,
Amazing.
man.
Trip
No-
of a lifetime is good.
No run-in with the cartel?
None. I wasn't trying to buy the cocaine or anything like that. So, I don't think I had to cross paths with the Medellin cartel, but
You
I'm
know,
glad to have you.
anytime I ever went on a trip as a kid, I'd come home and my aunt would always ask, what was the best part and what was the worst part? Every single
Okay.
time, without fail. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the aunt treatment. What was the best part? What was the worst part of Colombia?
so the best part, we were in a town called Minca, which is in like the jungle, essentially in the
Ooh.
mountains,
Okay.
right next to, I forget the name of the national park now, but they have a big park there that has this San Juan Beach on it, which is like the most famous beach in all of Colombia. And we stayed, and I actually sent you the video on stream, but we stayed in, they called it Trekker Glamping, and it was like a high-end tent, basically.
Yeah.
So we were up on this mountain, on the side of the mountain in the woods, out in this like elevated platform with a tent on it, essentially. It wasn't really a tent, it was like a little cabana, overlooking all the rainforest and stuff. It was so cool. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And then all that national park, awesome. Great experience. Best part of the trip.
Definitely glamping. That
Yeah.
video was dope. That was
Yeah.
that was some nice digs you had there. My question is like, how many of those little tents are in that area, and are they all set in a way so like you don't see them like each other with the view?
We could only see one other tent. You really couldn't see much, like a tiny portion of their porch. That place can have up to 18 guests. So
Wow.
there's two-person cabanas and then two bigger ones, I believe, if you have like a bigger group that you're with. So it's very small, very, very quaint, like little thing. So it was pretty, they had a lot of rules about quiet time and stuff too. It was very much like meant to be authentic in the experience.
Oh, very nice.
I like that. So you'd go back?
I'd definitely go back to that. And Meta Ian was also really cool. I would go back. There's a bunch of stuff we didn't see there. So
Cool.
Okay.
worst part
All right.
now, right? So worst part.
Yep. Here we go.
Your boy had a little bit of the traveler's diarrhea at the end of the old expedition there. South America, not really supposed to drink the water
Right.
or anything like that. I still contend that I didn't even open my mouth in the shower. I brushed my teeth with a bottle of water. Like, I did everything I could do to avoid it. Still got caught by the Colombian flu.
They'll get you,
See,
man.
I was trying to go flawlessly through Guatemala without getting sick.
Mhm.
And the brushing the teeth got me. I didn't even think about it.
Mhm.
Brushed it with the faucet. Just started pissing out my ass the rest of the trip. Didn't stop me from eating all the pupusas that I could eat, though.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
That's
Arepas.
nice.
I ate
I ate
so
some of the
many.
arepas.
Arepas left
Oh
and
my
right,
God.
son.
Yeah, so good. The food there was really good.
I-
Chicharrones too. Holy
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds phenomenal. I love Colombian food, man. I had a Colombian friend growing up. Her mom made the most banging food. Holy.
Bet she
quality.
did.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Well, that was a nice little recap on Abe's trip. I hope to hear from more trips from you and from you as well, Markstrom. Let's do some vacationing next year.
Yeah, with
But-
my newborn, that'll be yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, man. Oh, this.
But what do you say we get into this week's agenda? Huh? What do we got first?
What do we miss,
Well,
Abe?
we are starting with my favorite topic, and that is, what are gamers mad about this week?
Ooh, roll the clip. Very nice.
Did it
That's what's
work?
up. Oh, that's clean. What a banger.
Good stuff. All right, what are they mad about?
So, and those familiar with Mark's stream might already have an idea as to what we're going to talk about here, but recently, a studio called Fntastic, spelled Fntastic, did an early access release for their zombie survival shooter game, a third-person zombie survival shooter called The Day Before. There's a lot of speculation on this game for a long time. It's been in development for a long time, I think 4 or 5 years. They would always show videos and stuff. A lot of thoughts that it was vaporware, it was a scam. They were trying to get people to, give money to fund their efforts, and they were going to squander the money. They said, no, we are not a scam. We're going to go to early access and release the game so you can start to play it and see what we've done. They did that. It was a colossal disaster. The game is a piece of shit, to be quite honest. Unoptimized, runs like crap, incomplete. It's just a bunch of stolen assets from the look of it, all pieced together. Not a good experience for a lot of players. A lot of complaints came out, especially from our noted streamer here who played the game on stream. And then
I would never.
as he was giving his thoughts on the game, a very juicy piece of information came out at that exact moment. And that was less than a week into the release of their early access, Fntastic Studios was shutting down due to financial reasons. So essentially, they released their early access. Less than a week, they're closing down the entire studio because they didn't have any money. And with that, I'll turn it over to you guys.
This might be the first time that I might be on the same side when it comes to what you guys consider a scam and what I consider the scam. But I was on my same typical, doesn't sound like a scam if they were fully transparent about the game and when it was released, and then you told me they're shutting their doors a week later.
Hey, Abe, can you do me a favor and read one of the final lines, one of the closing statements?
I could read you the entire tweet.
Yeah, I think all we really need is what they plan on doing with the money.
Absolutely. Let me locate
They
that.
sent
part
a
here. I'll
tweet
bring the
with
tweet
how
up
they're going to
over
use
here.
the funding.
This is in the same tweet where they said they're shutting down 3 days into launch.
Oh God, what do we got?
Or 5, whatever it was.
So basically, here's the line when they talk about why they're closing. It's just, we invested all our efforts, resources, and man hours into the development of The Day Before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the potential of the game, but unfortunately, we don't have the funding to continue to work.
That pause button is broken, dude.
Pause button didn't work at all.
Oh, you said pause?
We'll get them next time, dude.
I was locked into reading.
It's like that old DVD player, unless the buttons kind of get stuck in there when you're in.
Dude, once I start reading, I told you, I'm always concerned about sounding like an idiot reading on stream.
God. Where did you want to pause?
The fact that this was their first big project. This studio has existed before under other names with other failed projects, for clarity.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen that time and time again, and I would have believed that to be like somewhat unsubstantiated from having read that until I read the fact that the studio, which quote unquote closed, is now open with a completely new name post project
Just rinse
within
and
the
repeat,
last
dude.
like 2 days. Yes, that
Rinse
is
and
correct.
repeat.
Actually,
Running
they
it
changed.
Rinse and
I
repeat.
did some digging on that.
Yeah.
And I'll show you. I'll bring this up over here because someone else did some digging as well. The Internet Sleuths found that in the Steam database, they changed the name of the studio on another one of their games, The Wild 8, to 8 Points is the name of the development studio.
Right.
And they did that mere hours before they announced the closure of their existing studio.
Phenomenal.
Oh my!
I mean,
God,
like we're
dude.
talking like 1 or 2 hours before.
Right.
Bro.
I mean,
So
the Slum has an understanding. They were anything but transparent as well with the release of this game. They made
Okay.
it seem like a scam the whole time. They had a few trailers that were quote unquote gameplay trailers, but they were all scripted events in the game. They walked very specific paths. Everything was on rails. It was scripted, right? It
Okay.
wasn't actual gameplay. It certainly wasn't gameplay in an online environment. This was all local, right? So there's no networking involved in any of this, etc. Right? Like you can make anything look semi decent. Shout out Dead Matter on that front.
Yeah.
But once you put it on
a stray, dude,
they deserve every stray I can throw. This entire genre of zombie apocalypse open world survival shooters can go right into the toilet, dude. Every single one of them. That being said, yeah, they were far from transparent, so they don't deserve any credit on that front. And I'm over here thinking, like, best case scenario, they're doing this on purpose to drum up buzz, because that's exactly what it did. It created so much free marketing for them, right? And if they even and it made the expectation bar for everybody as low as possible, right? To the point of they didn't even expect this game to exist. So if these people just put out something that even comes close to being decent, people will be stoked, right? So I'm thinking, hey, that's not bad, bro. Like that's not a bad move. And yeah, they somehow still didn't meet the expectations that were the absolute lowest bar possible. They still managed to shoot below that,
which blows my mind for many reasons. So I'll tack on to the end there, and then I'll wrap back around. Right now, we live in a world where you can download on Unreal Engine video game templates, fully polished, all that sort of stuff. You change a few assets, you got a game. If you're a scammer out there, if you're not trying to get creative, do that. At least you have a real game. Like, that's low effort. So it blows my mind that a scamming company can't even like produce a decent scammed game. Like, again, why don't they? It costs $30. A template on Unreal Engine costs $30.
The issue, though, of course, is the networking side of things, right? Is when you take a bunch of people and try and put them all into the same thing. It's different than, you know what I mean? Okay. So that you actually, once you're building some sort of server that is going to host multiple players and they all need to see the same thing at the same time to be a game, and everything has to register like when it needs to register, you actually have to have a modicum of talent to make something like that, even at small scale, right? I mean, Battlestate Games can't even do it for 8 people a server on Tarkov. So
Jesus Christ.
Straight. And you know, like it's not easy work. There are certain engines that are better for it, right? It sure shit ain't Unity, Battlestate. And you know, like I don't think game dev is easy by any means, right? And so I think transparency, absolutely key, cornerstone to making any decent project, right? They kept everything as shrouded as possible on purpose, to the point of where they removed trailers that used to exist from YouTube that showed what they were going to do and what they were promising, so that they couldn't be held to any sort of standard. Like, that's who we're dealing with here, right?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did you know that this Fntastic company, before they released this game, were you aware of their history and their previous company names and all this?
Yes, because I look at everything. Like when there's a game that's being released that has any kind of buzz, as a informed consumer, your first thought should be, what else have they made? What's their track record? Have they done this shit prior? And with just a little bit of research, the answer was, yeah, dude, this is not their first rodeo. This isn't their first game. This isn't their first project. This is their first game called The Day Before.
Under Fntastic
Under
as well,
Fntastic, right? Yeah.
So how are they still able to do this?
Because it doesn't take anything to make an LLC and run it back, dude.
Yeah, but if you get caught with fraud, a lot of times you go to jail.
This is why people, yeah, but see, like, there's so much up in the air when it comes to video game development. Like, you can just claim incompetence. You know what I mean? Like, how do you determine what is incompetence and what isn't? Like, nobody who's in charge of regulating anything can make that determination. You know what I mean? Because it takes like an insane amount of understanding to make that call. No one's ever going to make that call. Right. And so, yeah, the industry is ripe with it, man. It is what it is. And that's why we, the consumer, have to be informed buyers, man. Like, you can't just be, and the thing is like, this is a genre that's just like plagued by this, right? We've seen that. We literally just had a studio present absolute dog shit and basically shut down entirely. Dead matter. Like, this happens all the time. Shout out to Sergey from back in the day, who made a bunch of scam games and ran it back like 3 or 4 times. Shattered Skies, shout out that game. Shout out War Z.
I think I have maybe this has been done before, but a light bulb just went off in my head.
Hit me.
All right, so you ready? This podcast is supposed to be a bit about business. So I see a gap in the market for a nonprofit.
All right.
So we'll establish this nonprofit.
Sure.
This is all concept talk, people. Concept talk. No one's held to execution. All right. Just letting you guys know that this is building as we speak. Why don't we start a nonprofit? Get funding. Don't have to pay taxes on it. Use all the money that we get to just put these types of companies on blast. Just run marketing campaigns saying, "Don't buy this game. Don't buy this game from this company." Literally make a nonprofit just shitting on the dev companies that deserve to be shitted on.
Smear ads.
It's like a super PAC. It's like a PAC, right? Like a political PAC.
Yeah, except we're not going to be corrupt. All the money that we get, we have jobs. We don't need salaries. So all the money that we get, let's just make ads with it.
Yeah. The reality is that the entire like landscape of this does nothing but suck the life out of me, and not in a good way. And I'm just like not interested in consuming my day to day with this level of debauchery. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's just depressing, dude. So I would rather go. I'm down to go the other way. If you want to get some funding and we find the games that actually are legit and have like a real future, and we put those on blast to the world and say that it's like Rotten Tomatoes certified. You know what I'm saying? Like certified fresh. You know, now we're talking. Now I'm on board.
Oh,
there's an MSTV certified fresh.
Well, I mean, I feel like I helped build the idea a little bit, don't I? Did we get an MSTVS on the end?
But then here's the other side. I'm gonna change it to Dominic DeCoco certified fresh, because when we certify something fresh and then they do something like remove the cycle from the cycle frontier, like a year after the game's out, and it just goes down the drain, people are gonna be mad at us when that's like a completely unforeseen circumstance of them just being incompetent.
Well, no, they won't be mad at us because we're going to be way ahead of it. As soon as that happens, we put out a news alert, transparency.
Past ripeness.
Oh,
past ripeness. This is now past ripe.
Bro, that stuff happens. As long as you correct it.
Boys, it's bruising.
Jesus. As long as you move forward and handle it amicably.
Maybe.
Is that the word?
Yeah.
That's fine. The consumers, the community understand that.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, we said this game was awesome. We got a couple feelers out there right now. It's looking like it's going down the tube. So we are striking the label.
So you gotta. Yeah, maybe there's like maybe it's like a sticker on a like a CS skin, and just every time they scuff it, you scuff the sticker a little bit more until it's all scratched off.
For sure, dude.
No longer certified.
Let's go, dude.
All right, I think we might be on to some good ideas here.
Let it breathe. Should we strip this? Should we strip this live stream so no one steals it?
All right, listen. If you're tuned in live, we're gonna be sending out an NDA.
Yep.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
Oh man, but anyway,
it would be nice. But here's the thing. I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's important to have someone who's deeply ingrained in the industry, a content creator that actually follows these things and isn't just like based on they like game because they are good at game, or don't like game because they are not good at game, which unfortunately is where a lot of opinions come from. But find someone who actually takes an active role in developing and consulting and understands the lie of the land that you trust to help you spend your disposable income appropriately, right? Who's not gonna lead you astray. It's important because they oftentimes, like, if you are just a casual gamer, you come home from work or school and you want to unwind and play a game, the last thing you want to do is spend your money or your time on something that is you're just going to feel like you're pissing away, right? That feels bad. That's your limited free time, and so it's way more painful when you waste it. And so go to your specified person and ask them what's up with this and this project. And I spend big part of my day doing that very happily because, I feel like it's my personal responsibility to my community to look out for them on that front. And I would much rather be beholden to them, the people who actually support me and allow me to do what I love for a living, than these developers who a lot of the time are behaving like the scum of the earth. Like it's so hard to defend so many of them. It's not my job to do it. You know what I mean? It's not my job to do it. And if I play your game, I'm going to give an honest opinion to the people because it matters to me.
And can I just say, as a viewer of streams and content creators, it's that type of mentality, I think, that created your community. Because quite frankly, I'm not going to name names. There was a bunch of shills out there in the streaming community that were hyping this thing up, that knew it was a piece of shit.
Right.
And that is so much even worse than the scam itself, in my opinion, because they did the exact opposite of what you just said. And they kind of abused their integrity for, whatever it is, money, whatever it might be that these development studios are giving them.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I think Steam's pretty one-sided as far as like giving refunds to people who bought the day before. My first request for refund was rejected because I was over the 2-hour limit for transparency. And then I had to resubmit it a little bit after their official thing had released and Steam finally understood, like, oh, this is horrifying. We have to give these people refunds. And then when I resubmitted, I got my refund. I didn't pay the money. And so I think like that was the case for probably a lot of people. But I do understand how this happens. I understand how streamers fall into this, like, I need to hype this game up because me being positive about this thing means that people that are amped up about this game are going to come to my stream. It is stream building to be positive about a game in the short term. Because the reality is if you take the shortcut of hyping up a piece of shit game, and you get all the people that are also hyped about the piece of shit game, guess what you're stuck playing?
The piece of shit game?
A piece of shit game. And you will be miserable, and so will be the people around you because you're stuck with it. Congratulations. You have a bunch of viewers on something that you would have more fun working like the most monotonous 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Like you aren't living the dream at that point, man. What's the point, And so I see people get like really, really, really defensive and to where they are unwilling to admit that there's any fault or that the devs are fallible in any way for X, Y, and Z about their game. And it becomes just like I find it to be such a mockery of streaming because they're just doing it in the face of their fans that aren't idiots, but they treat them like idiots. Like they have no idea, right? Like what is good and what is not. And it works for some people. And it's sad because, again, those communities just become absolute cesspools and they're at each other's throats and they hate each other. You can tell the streamer wakes up and they click the button and they're miserable. They don't want to talk to those people. All those people don't want to play that game. And so, yeah, a little forewarning for anyone out there thinking about like going down that path of just like abject positivity towards a project because it's going to be my main game and that's where I'm going to grow. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. It's cheesy. People talk all the time about play what you love, do what you love. That is where you're going to put in the most effort into the content that you create because you give a shit enough that where it doesn't feel like work and you're able to just constantly push and be better than the other creators around you in that space. That's a fact. I don't know, man. Like I think that it is 100% cliche, but it's worth pursuing because otherwise, like, I don't know, man. Why become a streamer? That's where I'm at.
I mean, how much is your soul worth that you're gonna fake it and lead your community astray? Why would you do that? Are your morals not worth more than?
And that's the crazy thing is, like, the people who do this too, they're not even getting paid.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's wild.
But I think if you're going to anything you pursue it with integrity, and do it with keeping in mind that these people are supporting you and they deserve the best. And normally, when you do things right and when you try to create something that lasts, it takes a while. And when you try to do it quick and take shortcuts, you're building your foundation on sand.
Yep.
So
that's a fact.
It takes a while, man. Just take your time, be true to yourself. Don't lead your community astray. Definitely don't do that, because they're the people that are showing up every day to support you. And if you don't got them, you don't got no one.
There it is. What gamers are angry about this week? Disappointing stuff,
so
man.
Certified scam, though, right?
Certified MSTV Dominic the Coco certified rotten. The day before. You heard it here first. What else we got, Abe?
Well, so let's talk about some good games. So, because of our absence last week, we didn't get the chance to talk about a recap of the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So the Game Awards did occur, and as we kind of predicted on here, Baldur's Gate, it took home like everything. It
Damn!
Let's go, baby.
All the best awards. In total, Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year, Best Community Support, Best RPG, Best Multiplayer Game, and what they call the Player's Voice Award. That's the fans all vote on their favorite game. The only one that
actual video game fans vote on, right?
Yes.
I would say that's probably the most important
by and large, dude. No kidding.
Wow, dude.
They won all of it. I mean, they really did. They cleaned up in all the big categories.
That's the best follow-up news we've seen in a while. That warms my oysters, clams, and
holy
cockles.
Crap, dude. This game must be really good.
It is.
It is.
Holy crap.
And they took the time to really build out and develop a full game, and it shows. They won all the awards.
Yep.
Wow. Congratulations to the Baldur's Gate team.
Nailed it.
Wow, dude. This is that's 5 awards. Holy crap. How many awards do you think were there? Like 7?
There's a lot, but there's categories it doesn't even fit into, like reoccurring game and all kinds of stuff.
Basically everything they were part of, they took home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there was a little bit of let's call it controversy, because people felt as though the new Spiderman game on PlayStation 5 was the real game of the year, and they keep linking like gameplay videos of the two and being like, which one would you rather play, even though they're completely different genres. But for the most part, I mean the players, the players vote, in my opinion, settles the fact that the community of gamers really did feel it was the best game.
Also, at the end of the day, I don't care how big of a Sony shill you are. If you are going to make a game that's exclusive only on PS5, you don't deserve to win Game of the Year, because only people who have PS5s can play your game.
I think I agree with that take.
I mean, it's just like, you don't have to make it exclusive. You made it exclusive because you got paid to do it. So take your paycheck and shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You made the choice. It's your call. Short-term over long-term game, by the way.
That is true.
Yep.
Well, so what do you think about this, Markstrom? 5 awards.
Feels good, man. They earned it. Game rules. I wish I had more free time, because the kind of game that I would really invest myself in if I had any bonus time to game off stream, which is very rarely the case. So.
Well, congratulations, team. I look forward to. So, is there going to be a BG4 eventually? Obviously,
one would assume so.
Especially after the
success of this one. But again, this one took so much overwhelming amount of time that I wouldn't expect to see a BG4 for like 8 to 10 years. So what
are some other games from this development company?
BG2, BG1.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Nice.
Now you know.
That's it?
It's Larian, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're known for anything else in particular.
I don't think they are.
No.
Well, good for them, dude. They're staying the course. and they got a heater on their hands.
Definitely a heater.
My man. All right. Well, on to the next. Again, congratulations, team. I hope you guys celebrated and enjoyed some champagne, and keep it going, dude. Go ahead, Abe.
Well, so our next topic takes us back into the world of Twitch.
Oh, there's one other game that I'm sure we'll get comments on, so I'm gonna point it out real quick.
Okay.
As you would expect, it's in the exact same vein, but Divinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was
yeah,
that
Same type of game. It looks like Larian is also.
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, of course.
Was it big when it came out, and did
It
it
was very
cause?
good.
Divinity
Yes.
Original
Yeah.
Sin 2 is one of my favorite games.
Oh.
That I've played in like a multiplayer in like a co-op setting. Incredible experience. And very similar style of gameplay. So we kind of knew what to expect when we were getting BG3, but sorry, go ahead,
Okay.
Abe. What else we got, bro?
No problem. So there is a new meta that's come to town on Twitch, and we always like to kind of talk about what's popular. This one's been popular amongst the female streamers, and that's because the new meta is that it's topless streaming.
Okay.
So that sounds probably off the bat like, how are they getting away with that? Well, Twitch is a very specific thing written into their terms of service, which I'm sure you're aware of, Mark. But it's that you cannot show breasts with exposed nipples unless you are actively breastfeeding a child. So what people are doing to get around this terms of service kind of violation is that they are streaming topless, but they have their camera angled so that you can't see any nipple on stream, and therefore they're not actually violating the terms of service. And then they're kind of just standing there and reading chat and like reacting to things while topless on stream.
So nothing, providing no value except your looks.
That is correct.
If they do pasties, is that fine?
I believe you have they Twitch does have rules too about like wearing certain things in the correct setting.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
there are body paint streamers who show full boob with pasties on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your take on these types of streamers in the Twitch environment?
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, Twitch is by far the best funnel for these types of creators who make explicit content on other platforms. This is the number one funnel because they get to create a very strong hold on the viewer through the parasocial relationship that they're able to provide through a live stream to many people at once, right? So this is how they get all the people to that other website, whatever it may be. Okay. And I think I have an interesting take on this one.
Okay.
Twitch is very specific about sexualized content. You cannot have hypersexualized content. And the problem is that these streamers will use some form of artistry to occlude hypersexualized content, right? On purpose. And these streamers will also push the boundaries as far as humanly possible, right? And that will always be the case. And so Twitch is kind of put in this like weird position because it's like they constantly are having to like update and fight the new meta, right? And I think that we've gotten like a good enough baseline at this point where I'm pretty pleased with Twitch's response. And Abe hasn't gotten to it yet, so I'll tell you what the response is. They are quote unquote allowing artistic nudity, non-sexualized artistic nudity. And it doesn't mean all of a sudden you can show nips, right? It just means that like they are not going to ban people who are doing this. What they are going to do is change the way that Twitch presents these streams from an algorithm stance. They are going to get categorized as this type of content. They are not going to get displayed on the front page in any way, shape, or form anymore. This goes along with gambling, heavy smoking, being intoxicated. All these streams are going to get tagged, and then they are going to get shuffled off of the front page, recommended, carousel, all of that. You won't see these streams on the front page anymore. And honestly, with broadcasters, like, I mean, we've been seeing this trend for many years now, and they will move the goalpost, and then they have to move it again and move it again, and it's just like this never-ending battle. So at a certain point, it's just, here's the baseline of where we're at now. We are basically going to shuffle it elsewhere, out of the spotlight. So if you want to choose to make that kind of content, not only are you going to get less out of it because your content, like your funnel's going to be smaller, you're stuck with a smaller funnel now. But it doesn't have to be this thing that like is at the forefront of Twitch discussion anymore. You know what I mean? Because I do think that like this issue, we live in 2023. Everything's hypersexualized. Kids have access. If they have access to Twitch, they have access to whatever they want. I'm not like, Twitch is a 13 plus website. It also, on top of that, if they have that kind of content, you have to like click through the box that says I'm a mature viewer, I'm 18 plus or whatever, right? As if it matters. But I mean, just realistically, right? And so I'm like, I don't think it's Twitch's responsibility to protect the kids to that extent beyond what they're already doing. And I think this is like a very meaningful response from them. And I also think that like shit like this and just constantly revisiting it kind of like, it stops us from focusing on things that actually matter for the better of the platform. And on top of that, like the final thing that I'll throw in there is that taking all that shit off of the front page is so much better for advertising. So much better. And as a result, which is actually going to start making more advertising dollars, broadcasters are going to get a better split of the advertising dollar. Maybe we get to a point where ads don't have to be shoved down every viewer's throat every second they tune into a broadcast. Like, I think that this is a very meaningful change. So I'm super happy.
Do you think that they're going to have backlash?
Who cares?
From hiding. I agree.
Who cares?
I'm just curious.
It's their website. Stream on it or don't.
Because I would agree with you. In 2023, it's almost like degeneracy is in.
Yeah,
and
for
being
sure.
like, and I'm not saying body painting is degeneracy, but you were talking about intoxication and heavy smoking and gambling and shit. Degeneracy, in my opinion. I gamble a little bit. I smoke a little bit. Actually, I don't really smoke anymore.
It's all within moderation, right?
Yes, correct.
It's all within moderation.
You won't catch me using a platform to do that,
right,
and show kids and
make
stuff
money
like
off of it.
Yeah, exactly. However, I am also happy that they're getting pushed to a different page. And I'm a big freedom guy, so I think you should be able to do whatever you want on these streams. But you guys have probably heard me say this before. If you have a platform, I believe it should be used for good and to make the people better that are watching and contributing to the platform.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel a certain type of way when I see people with low willpower and low motivation just like sitting in a stream with a girl with her tits out doing nothing.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you're free to do whatever you want, but like, what are you doing, dude? Like, go do something else, man. Go work on yourself. And then you won't have to watch this stupid stream that's providing no value to you.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Twitch is a business. It's a better decision for the business of almost everyone involved, especially the ones that are actually putting in, top tier effort into the content that they provide on Twitch. Because I do think a lot of these streams are very low tier effort for that content.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm sure they put a lot of effort in the other content, But you know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. And if they want to go stream to, again, a way smaller funnel on Kick that lets them do whatever, then that's up to them, right? That's a business choice they got to make.
And something you talked about this being a business podcast too, and I think Twitch, this was a good response because they're constantly, as Mark alluded to, they're punting this issue or they're fixing this problem, and it doesn't go away, I think, ever. Also because it's a very blue ocean for that kind of content. Explicit sexual content, it's not a site for that. So you stick out on that site when you produce that kind of stuff versus going on an OnlyFans or one of those types of sites, because that's what those are for.
Yep.
So it's easier to get views when you're doing something that's outside the norm. That's never going to go away for Twitch. So if this is the correct response, is let's just deal with this in another way rather than trying to ban these people and all that stuff, because make your money, do your content, but we're not going to promote you anymore. I think that's the right way to do it.
So did they say that explicitly, that they're going to not put you on the front page and all that stuff?
Yep.
Was this in a tweet or an article? Or
it was like a full outlined like safety update on Twitch's website.
Okay. Yeah, well, I agree. I agree with that. I think that's a good way to keep them from not freaking out about being banned. I don't think they should be banned. I think
it's also just like this constant like drain on resources and the back and forth between, like Twitch's safety council and what should be done and having to deal with unban requests, and I don't know, man. It just all seems very draining unnecessarily. So I love the response.
Well, there you go, dude. Twitch, you are gaining points slowly but surely,
bro. Constantly. Dan Clancy, CEO, shout out to my boy.
New CEO, yeah.
DJ Dan Clancy.
Damn right.
Oh my gosh! All right, good job, Twitch. W. What else we got?
This one really made me laugh, actually. So there is speculation out there that GTA 6, so Rockstar Games, that the studio is stealing people's personalities for their games. And right now they're in an active lawsuit against the Florida Joker.
Yeah.
So this guy's name is, I think, Lawrence Sullivan. He went viral for a mugshot where he looked like the Joker in his mugshot. And I'll bring up the picture of it for you, because there's a character in the new GTA 6 trailer that looks exactly like this guy, is what his claim is. I would argue that there are some differences here, but this guy is now suing Rockstar Games for $1 to $2 million in damages for using his likeness without his permission.
What damage? What damage, dude?
I wouldn't go out on a limb and say the damage has already been done, but
yeah. What damages could you possibly argue for? I'm confused here.
I guess it's stealing his likeness.
Yeah, but what's the damage?
Here's where I'm at, bro.
Where you
at? Elliot Page, then Ellen Page, could not properly settle with The Last of Us for clearly ripping off their likeness for Ellie in that game, then this dude has no shot at all and never will. And honestly, I saw the interview with the guy, and he said something like, yeah, like this BS Rockstar, like you should be throwing me like $1 million or $2 million. And that's like, I think that's what they're using for, like, he's suing them for $1 to $2 million.
Just throwing out arbitrary numbers.
It's just as arbitrary as it gets. It's awesome.
Where are you getting this from,
he
dude?
thinks he has an opportunity to make money.
And is it even going to be in the story arc? Is it just a part of the loading screen? Like,
we don't know yet. It was a hype trailer.
It wouldn't take a whole lot for Rockstar to yoink them out anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, who cares?
Also,
maybe. All right. Here's actually what I think is going on. Maybe he knows he has no shot, but now he's going to use this to start his career.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get a little platform going.
Yep.
Start an OnlyFans.
Listen, there's something out there for everybody, bro.
I would love to see this courtroom as this, if it even goes to a courtroom.
No shot.
Well, Rockstar is also famously litigious. Like, they have won a lot of lawsuits against people for similar stuff. This guy's got no shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
Good luck,
How about
bud.
the girl twerking on top of the car roof? Is she gonna try to sue as well?
Time will tell.
Well, that was a similar thing. They're saying she was kind of claiming like, yeah, that's me. They stole me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What about the
man,
alligator that walked in the convenience store? Where's
Yeah.
his lawsuit, bro?
Or the guy's pulling an alligator out of the pool.
Or the guy with his butt
That's-
cheeks out with the visor. He was looking kind of swaggy, bro.
All this stuff. So I saw that trailer of side by side real life
They're
footage.
so good, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I knew I had seen the old lady with the hammers before.
I don't think I saw the hammer
Oh,
one. Dude.
banger, bro. So good.
Abe, do you think you could look up a side by side Rockstar video real quick while he
I don't think
sees
we
if he can find one?
play the audio on it, but
Nah, we
That's fine,
don't need the
can mute
audio.
it. Right.
Why? So if Markstrom, if this was you, how do you think you would handle this situation if you were getting stuck? Not if you're in jail like this guy.
if
Say there was a video in Rockstar trailer
okay,
of you in a of some guy in a hot tub that looked like Shrek.
I
you know what I mean?
would make a huge deal out of it online.
Yeah. Well, then you can't blame these guys.
Nope.
do
But I would do it very tongue in cheek. I wouldn't do it like, damn it, Rockstar, where's my 1 or 2 mil? I would make a really good meme out of it and drive a bunch of traffic to my other platforms.
I'm gonna start playing. This is a 10-minute video, so I'm gonna start playing this.
But you
Is
gotta create something, right?
Yeah. Got to capitalize on
Yeah,
it.
man.
I'd be like 100 mil. You owe me at least 100 mil.
Yeah.
Hit
Hit him with $100 billion and then hit him with the
Yeah.
you know?
We go to, here's the
Yeah, go through it and let's see which ones. Okay, so I saw this girl. This girl is in a nightgown with hammers, and
Right.
that was a real life thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That's freaking hilarious. What
Yeah,
other
they
real
got-
ones we got?
It's got. I think that's the game. Here's the real one.
Come on. All right, that one's a little more of a stretch. What else we got?
So this looks like it's another peak moment. So
Are
this
you
is, like,
playing this
super
at
slow.
half speed, Abe? What's
no,
the deal
dude,
here?
This is full speed. This is how they did the video, so you could see like the comparison. I guess.
Yeah, but we can see it in full speed. Why don't you just press? Oh, they said that guy's Rod Wave. He's a rapper. That's interesting. Go back to that animated one for me real quick. So we're looking at.
See, that's why they
Come
slowed
on,
it down.
dude.
They
That
weren't gonna
guy
see it.
That guy is very generic looking. That's not stolen. That's not Rod Wave. That one's a stretch as well. This one's gonna be funny. The girl
Oh, it's
twerking on top of the
girl
roof.
twerking on top of the roof. Yeah.
This one I think was probably a little more like they saw it and they're like, we gotta make that part of it. Like that is typical of this environment right here.
The
We
gator in
gotta
the
make that.
pool.
That happens all the
That's-
time, bro.
Happens all the time.
I grew up in Florida. That happens all the time.
Where you from? You don't know Gator.
Where are you from? You don't know Gator.
Yeah.
guess
I
this is
love
the
this, dude.
Rockstar
I'm a
version.
big fan of GTA. Big fan,
Yeah.
dude. I grew up watching my brothers play these games. Like there was a GTA, it might have been GTA 2, and GTA it was just top down. It was like literally the camera was straight down and you didn't have any other movement of the camera type. It was just locked in down. I don't know which GTA it was or if this was a game called Driver or whatever, but dude, this game has come so far.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty
really
nutty.
they're just running back the same format again and again, but because it's such a cool game, it works. Is GTA like the highest grossing game?
Good question. What is the highest grossing game? The problem is like there's so many different monetization models that are not like open. When you look at a game like Dota or League or CS, and you talk about skins and cases and you know what I mean, it becomes a whole very muddy picture that they don't want people to know the numbers on. That's a fact. So I don't know if we actually find the real numbers on that, but I do know. I mean,
Yeah,
at
it's
the
hard
end
to
of the day,
find.
GTA 5 is I mean, it blasts. I mean, they sold that shit on everything from, Xbox to PC to your mom's smart toaster, like
Dude.
10 years of just schlanging that game. So
Schlanging, dude.
Yep.
It's hard to get and most of this is based on sales that I'm seeing, but it's like you're seeing like the leagues pop up there, and actually Pokemon's on here. But that's because they have 1 billion games, and I bet you it's stuff too, like even like RuneScape that have been around for
sure.
God knows how many years, and people still play it. So
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
tough to get a real figure on
subscription
that.
based numbers, and like Blizzard's never open about that kind of thing, and yeah,
True.
it's hard to quantify for sure. But yeah, man. I mean, I'll be playing GTA 6. I think 5 had one of like the coolest single player stories that I played through in a long time. Multiplayer in GTA always riddled with some BS, honestly, that I'm not really interested in. A lot of cheaters, a lot of
select
BS.
multiplayer types are fine.
Yeah.
If you try to join a public lobby, you're just asking for
Right.
computer aids.
So I think like I could see myself getting back into some GTA RP, which is always a fun time.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we'll see. But I'll definitely play through the storyline for sure. Game will be
beautiful.
Fun.
I can't wait to watch that. I'm definitely buying it as well. We got to check in when they go live and see how much sales they do right off the rip. I'd be very excited to see that.
Sure, it's going to be.
There are people making comments like they're hoping they don't die before it comes out.
How about the guy that literally stopped smoking because they announced like a rough date, and he's like, oh, like I want to be healthy enough to enjoy this, and like it was like this whole like long ass post. Crazy. Good for him, man. Rockstar out here changing lives, bro.
Good for him. What do you think? We got time for this last tech topic?
Yeah, what do we got?
Let's do it.
We got 2 to choose from here. Which would you rather talk about? We have a tech breakthrough, and then we have something going on in the auto industry that's not very good for consumers. So
let's had enough negativity today. Let's go.
Do a tech breakthrough, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, then we have some really good news for 2024. In 2024, Wi-Fi 7 is going to arrive.
Okay.
So
I didn't know we were on 6, but all right.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi 6 is currently where we're at.
All right.
Tech manufacturers have already been prepping for this because the specs for Wi-Fi 7, the proposed specs have been out there for a while. So they have confirmed that by the end of the first quarter in 2024, they expect Wi-Fi 7 to be ready. Right now, I think the maximum speed capable over Wi-Fi 6 fully optimized is about 1.7 gigs. They're saying that on Wi-Fi 7, you could get up to potentially 5 gigabytes of data transfer up and down and things like that over Wi-Fi. So it's a very, very, very big announcement as far as the future of internet technology is concerned in Wi-Fi.
That's really cool for people who have like Google Fiber in their homes, and maybe they get to push something nicer. But what about people who have cable infrastructure? Because if Wi-Fi 6, which is the vast majority of the United States, for clarity, if Wi-Fi 6 is already pushing that, I feel like this may not be an upgrade for too many people.
No.
Probably not going to do a whole lot for them. They don't have what Slum would call the wide enough straw.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's still just because public catches up. Innovation happens, then the public catches up.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just playing. I'm stoked about it because because
you have Google Fiber.
I got Google Fiber, baby.
We know why you're stoked about it.
But yeah, man. I mean, I think like obviously this requires new router and whatnot. But I did get my last router for free. Shout out Asus, appreciate it. But yeah, we'll see.
We just got a new router, Wi-Fi 6 router at the office, and it was the reason we got it was because there were too many people connecting to it, and the speeds would go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I might not have been too caught up because when I ran the speed test on this router Wi-Fi, I was at like 600 up, 600 down. I was like, that's Wi-Fi, dude.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why do people even hardwire in anymore?
Well, I think like
stability issues. I think
a lot of it has to do with stability, because that's testing the speed over the period of time of the test.
Yeah.
Right. And then like an approximation, but it could be spiking all around. Right.
True.
You definitely want
to be clear too. Wi-Fi 7 does offer enhanced stability now beyond previous models, and I think. What is it? The last band was like 5 gigahertz or something like that.
Yes.
This goes to 6 gigahertz.
Cool.
So there's a lot of other improvements that are beyond just maximum speed.
Right. Very nice.
Let's go, dude. I like good internet.
I do like good internet, and
I'm very happy with that.
I think they're well. And here's another interesting aspect. With people who are not homeowners looking at probably renting for a while, and they're not drilling holes and running lines through their house, a lot of people are stuck with whatever internet they can get the Wi-Fi on. You know what I mean? Because like that's something that I had to deal with when I first moved here renting. Is like I had to run a cord just through my whole house. You know what I mean? From like one end to the other to hardwire it in because I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Make some modifications. Slum's got a look over there that makes me think that he might have modded a rental.
You were
without
at
someone.
No.
You sure?
You were at. I'm talking about this house right now, which you were at not too long ago. My cord goes from my router up the wall. It hangs over the chandelier in the hallway to come through this door into my computer. And Trisha probably freaking hates it.
I wasn't gonna sell you down the river like that.
I don't want to drill through the basement yet, dude. I'm not. I'll get there eventually. But yeah, right now I got a cord just running through the house.
That's all right, man.
It's also like it's pretty because when I bought this house, it was hardwired for coaxial but not Ethernet. So I looked up. I actually use like a coaxial conversion system where you can run the Ethernet. You can run the internet through the coaxial cable and then convert it.
That's what I did in my apartment.
Yep. But like that's a pain in the ass, and if you don't know what you're doing, you got to pay someone to do that correctly without destroying your house. So if you're capable of getting speeds like that and it's stable on Wi-Fi,
that's pretty
like
awesome.
even if I can't push 5 gigs, I got gigabyte internet here through Verizon. I'll do that and I'll push it through Wi-Fi if it means I can get it on my computer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I mean you're gaming, dude. You're gaming, you're streaming, you're doing whatever you want on that. Yeah. That's for sure. And honestly, when the top end goes that high, it means that from a stability standpoint, it's not going to dip low enough for you to notice. So that's
I think that's plenty. Good wins, dude. Way to end off on a win.
I like that.
Markstrom, what do you got coming up, dude? How's life? What do you got in the future? Let us in.
Life is great, man. This big thing that, well, first and foremost, I'd like to share another win real quick. Nerdy win for you.
Okay.
Our guild hit a PB today in World of Warcraft for Season of Discovery. Black Fathom Depths, the 10-man raid, endgame content right now. We completed it in 1 hour today.
Wow.
Yeah, all 7 bosses.
Dude.
You love to see that. You truly last reset, 90 minutes. Today, an hour.
Oh, so you're making progress.
We're moving.
Wow.
That's nice.
Good for you,
7
dude.
Bosses and all the trash. That's not bad. We take that. So
bunch of nerds getting it done.
Yes, sir. So that was a nice W. We're still playing a lot of WoW on stream. Friday is Free Sub Friday. So if you hate ads and you enjoy quality entertainment on Twitch, swing by twitch.tv/Markstrom and catch a little Jifty across the chin. We'll hook you up, and because that's what we do on Free Sub Friday. 3rd Friday of the month, every single month. So that way people, who may not be able to cop a sub can come through and get the hookup. So hopefully we'll see you there.
And where is that?
Twitch.tv/Markstrom.
Love it. Abe, how about you, dude?
Well, I'll be over there on Free Sub Friday. I'll probably be donating some subs too, so you might catch one from me.
From Abe himself.
Wow. So you could treasure that. Also on Free Sub Friday, if you do donate subs, you might get a chance to see some of the new holiday alerts that are very entertaining. They're up on the stream now, so those are always funny. So come by and check those out because I'll be there moderating the stream as I do every single week, helping out. And that's where you can find me, which is once again, twitch.tv/Markstrom.
Beautiful. I will be there as well. My name is Slum or Dom, whichever you want to call me. I am a Markstrom TV moderator first and a business owner second. I run a production company, licensed to shoot media, lts.media. You can find us there. And I'm going to keep promoting this until my partners of the podcast yell at me. Go pick up a bag of Cafe Colazzo at cafecolazzo.com. We just launched that company. And also, Markstrom, we are making some very interesting changes just for you, my friend. Literally, just for you.
Boys.
It's a very beneficial change, but you're the reason that we're speeding it up.
Love it.
100%. So that was a wonderful episode. I look forward to the next one. So until next time, we will see you guys. Peace.
Deuces.